hate, 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 hate. Come join in on the complaining. Falcon Black, what's up? Can I? Let's see. Let us see. All right, so which one is that? Is this one? No, not that one. It's this one. So, no, yeah. Let's move that over. All right. Move that over. Move that over. We finna roast Nintendo. That wasn't the plan. I was just trying to do a simple live stream, but that looked like where it's going to be going. I was trying to do it simple. Trying to say live stream. Trying to do a simple. What was it called? Yeah, gaming live stream. A let's play. Then I started to get triggered. And so now this is complaints and grievances. Not for the faint of heart. We're going to complain about a lot of stuff. A lot of shit up in here tonight. Yeah, I got triggered because my stupid live stream, my gameplay live stream was not working. Alright, so now I gotta turn this off. Because this is getting on my damn nerves too. God damn it. God damn it. Alright, where is it? No, that's not where I was trying to get in here. Here we go. There we are. Yeah. It's a bunch of BS going on. Bullshit. Up and in here. I'm going to be on my pedestal this evening. Got to get it out before Christmas. Got to get all the bad vibes out. Hey T, getting coffee says major malfunction. Oh, I just noticed that it's cutting off names if they're not long enough. But I can't stretch it any further than that, or I'll have no screen space for myself. So I'm just going to have to roll with it. I got to get my lighting fixed. I got to get a soft box. Because this, I have a dark side of the face. It's like the dark side of the moon over here. Get your coffee, man. Get your popcorn. As T.O. used to say, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a show. We're putting on a show. Again, this is not the plan. I just wanted to stream some gears. But, so let's just, I guess I'll start with that. Because that's what triggered me. And changed my plans for the evening. So, you guys know I'm a Mac person. I love my Mac and I talk about it, but it has issues. I mean, there are problems with the Mac. And so I was very excited to get my new Mac Mini. I mean, I've had no issues live streaming. I can get on 5 minutes beforehand, live stream, whatever. But I learned that I think this is a problem only on Mac, that you can't, like I said, I was trying to play a game and live stream that. You can't Elgato live stream unless you have a HD 60S or S Plus. I have an HD 60. So for whatever reason, some stupid software issue, my OBS, my Streamlabs will not recognize or will not find my Elgato, so I can capture from it. And I'll show you here. Go into this is what my capturing looks like. Let me see. That's not. Where's my? Here's my game capture. So this is how I set up for my gameplays, right? So you can't see my arrow, but I would click into here, and you'd be able to see my game streaming here in the big black area there. That's where my game would be. Obviously, my chat log's above my head, and so I'd be able to do that. And I used to be able to do that fine with. I see Falcon Black is saying USB. Well, that wasn't a problem on my PC because I was running USB 3 on my PC. So that is part of the issue. But here's the thing, though. I just did a test yesterday, and so it was at least letting me live stream from my, because I did a test on it, live stream from the Elgato software itself, and that was not a problem. I could live stream out of that software. I even set it all up. I had my little backgrounds going, so I can set it up and it'd be fine. So I'd be good to go. And like I did, I ran a test yesterday. I even have like the video. I deleted them off the YouTube, but it was working. I was doing fine running off the Elgato, streaming through the Elgato software, because you can do that. And so I was having no problem with my HD 60 through the Elgato software. It ran fine. And I go today and it doesn't work for whatever reason. So that's why I'm not, I had planned on streaming because I knew it was working that way. I had tested it. You guys may have seen, notifications or whatever for me testing. So I tested it out. It was working fine yesterday. I was trying to do dual streaming and I was not having a lot of success with that. So, it is what it is on that. But it was working. But now it's not working. So it triggered me, put me in a bad mood because I knew it was working just fine before. But the minute I actually want to do it, like legit do it, it's giving me these issues. So we were talking about this on the Juices Loose podcast yesterday, talking about obviously Cyberpunk and all the issues surrounding that. I mean, I'm not going to dive into it. I will dive into the fact that it's not just a YouTube issue; it's a today issue where garbage just gets rewarded, and you'll have YouTubers, because it's the hot item, it's the hot topic, they'll do 5, 6, 7 videos about the same thing. Oh, there's more. It gets worse. It's really the same. It's not really, it's the same issue. But because people will click on this stuff, God help them, they continue to make the same videos over and over again, or at least about the same topic, and it's a new angle to this. Oh, there's new information. Not really. Nothing that really warrants it, but because people reward garbage, especially on this site, but other places too. You know, certain titles will get you stuff. Like I put a tweet out the other day. I was annoyed by the fact that, let me fix this. Let me go back to my main screen here. So I forgot that I was on it. I was annoyed by the fact that now it's all cut off. So this is annoying me. I'm getting more and more annoyed by the second. Let's see if I can fix this. Why is it cutting things off? I guess that's good enough, right? Let's see. Anyway, so I was, like I said, I see, like I said, I get annoyed by the fact that garbage gets rewarded, and it's not just this site; it's just media in general, where people will put out headlines that they know to be bullshit, like. What was I talking about specifically the other day? Oh yeah, people saying Nintendo has spoke on, or Nintendo comments on the Nintendo Switch Pro, and that's just a misleading title. It's just fucking misleading, because all Nintendo actually did was answer a question about the Nintendo Switch Pro. So they know if they put Nintendo Switch Pro, Nintendo speaks on Nintendo Switch Pro, it's technically true, but it's a load of bollocks. You know, it's just bullshit. Jonathan Kangas, greetings from Japan. What's up? So the title I've seen in multiple videos. Let me turn off I have my Xbox on here. Let me turn this off because I'm not going to be streaming any gaming, that's for sure. The title was, like I said, Nintendo finally comments on Nintendo Switch Pro, or Nintendo speaks about Nintendo Switch Pro, when that's just totally false. All they did was answer, and I quote answer, because they didn't really answer a question, because they give you that same spiel of, well, Nintendo's always looking into ways to improve, blah 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 bullshit. Like, and it was funny because I remember when Reggie was the dude, a lot of people, Falcon Black, that's one of them, yes. And I like the dude. I like him. It's not like I hate him or anything, or I hate any of these people. It's just the stuff. It's just the stuff that just annoys me, and I'll get into it in a minute. But Reggie used to get so much flack for company speak, for saying pretty much nothing, you know. And people would get bent out of shape about him saying nothing, you know, him giving you kind of PR spin stuff, which every company does, give you PR lines. But it was Wii U. It was Wii U time. So because it was Wii U, people would complain about the most insane things. And so that was one of the things. Oh, Reggie's a corporate tool, blah, blah, blah. He's just saying, you know, PR stuff. Well, that's kind of his job. It is his job. So now that, you know, Nintendo's in good graces for everyone, in good media darling graces, PR speak is okay. And not only is it okay, but you can just BS. You can just make BS headlines off of it on your videos, and there's no consequence for it. So you can put up a headline that says, Nintendo speaks on the Nintendo Switch Pro, which they didn't. Somebody asked about the Nintendo Switch Pro, and they gave, like I said in the tweet, a word salad, just spewing word salad of nothingness. There was no real comment in the comment. You know, it's Nintendo's always looking into ways to improve the current system, all the, you know, the same spiel that every company gives. And it's just like, they said nothing about it. but you can make a title off of it and people will watch it. And here's the thing that kills me, because I've even noticed it myself, but I've pretty much completely stopped doing it now that I've noticed it. People know going into these videos that you're not going to get any information, like any real information. You're not going to get. So it's you're going to get nothing out of the title. It gets you really excited. It gives you that, what do they call it, endorphin? You get that little endorphin rush of, oh, this is going to be some cool new news, and it never is, and you know it. Terminator Juice is up in here. What's up? Damn, I wanted to talk about this in the podcast and forgot. What is your favorite game of all time? Okay, hold on for that one, Larry. I'm into it right now. I couldn't stand the Doug Bowser interview because he gave no answers to anything. Yes, Terminator Juice. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But if that had been Reggie during the Wii U era, people would have lost their goddamn minds. Oh, shut up, Reggie. You didn't say anything. And here Doug Bowser says absolutely nothing. And again, not only is there no consequences to it, but like I said, people get rewarded by putting that bullshit in their titles of their videos. And it was just video. I mean, I saw at least 10 to 12 videos that had that in the title. There was a couple that had some integrity, and enough integrity to not put that in their title, and to not make 10 videos on the same thing. And I don't know how I fall on this, because I understand, again, that YouTube is a job for a lot of people, and you gotta hustle. Like, that's what it's all about. And so, but if you're hustling leads to what I'm not just a lack of integrity, but if it leads to basically the dismantling of good journalism, then I can't give you a pass on your hustle. Like, you got to find a new way. And there, like I said, there are a ton of channels out there who don't do this stuff and they still do okay. But I know that's the easy thing to do to get attention quickly. Jonathan King is dopamine. Yeah, it's like dopamine. What did I say? Endorphins? I guess that's similar. I don't know. King says, so Doug Bowser isn't the problem. It's clickbaity journalists trying to push story. Yeah, Doug Bowser is not the problem here. He's not the problem. And my point is that neither was Reggie. Reggie wasn't the problem when it came to giving non-answers. I mean, that's their job. You know, that's their job, is to do that. So I never had a problem with it, but I remember a lot of people having problems with non-answers. But now they don't have a problem with non-answers. Not only do they not have a problem with it, they give you non-videos about those non-answers and put it in their headline. And, you know, you ever watch a video and you know the person that's talking is just trying to hit that 8-minute mark or hit that 10-minute mark? They're just going on and on and on about nothing, just trying to stretch out what they're saying to hit, you know, that 10-minute mark. That used to be the golden one. I think you can do less now. I think 7 minutes is good enough, or something around there. But it's terrible. And yeah, Falcon Black says, I blame the viewers. They come back for more. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is the viewer's fault. Yeah, it's terrible that a YouTuber or an article writer or whatever would put like a headline like that. But we should be savvy enough at this point to not fall for that. And while they should take blame, we shouldn't feed the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to keep doing it as long as people keep being fed by it. And, you know, I know there's going to always be an audience that's not savvy enough, like, you know, younger and younger and younger, that will click on this stuff. But we got to do better, man. Like, it's crazy. And like, I don't like being subscribed to people that are going to give me that, because I just end up stop watching. And it's not spiteful. It's like, I just know that you're not going to give me anything of substance. Is that my fault? No. I mean, some people will just roll with it. Just keep trying to adjust my thing here. Some people will roll with it and it'll be fine for them. but not me. Like I don't have enough time in my life as it is. I don't want to waste it even on a 10-minute video of nothingness. And so my point, I guess, is basically that these guys have become like corporate talking tools. Like they use that kind of tactic to get people to watch the videos when there's nothing there for the most part. And I get, I gotta have content. You gotta keep having content. There's enough to talk about, I think, in games. We have a 2-hour podcast every week on Juices Loose, and that's all of us together. But we talk about a bunch of stuff, and we always end up having enough time. We always have more time. We didn't. Juice said, like in the chat here, is that there was a few things that we didn't even get to that we wanted to talk about. So, out of a 2-hour podcast, you can chop up 4 videos a week off a topic per topic. I would think there's always something to talk about with gaming, and when stuff like Cyberpunk happens, there's stuff to talk about. Here's the thing about Cyberpunk: there's a lot of angles you could cover, you could talk about. But a lot of these dudes don't even take the time to do that. They'll just take the juicy, headline and, blah, 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 same stuff about that for 10 minutes. When there's stuff you can really dive into and talk about. I don't know. It's annoying as hell. Didn't know you were on Twitch subscribing. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out my Twitch. I'm probably just going to, on Twitch, I'm probably just going to stream games. I've tried to figure out the dual stream thing, and it's not quality-wise working out for me so far. So, but yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you would like. Jonathan, channels talking rumors are fine, but some go overboard. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with talking about rumors. I don't even have a problem with that. My problem is like misleading, like a misleading headline, like Nintendo talks about Nintendo Switch Pro. Well, they don't. Technically, that's true. Technically, it's true. Yeah, they talked about it. And the fact that they didn't really say they had one. But the title makes it seem like they're talking about having a Nintendo Switch Pro. And they're not. Or at the very least, they're talking about they don't have a Nintendo Switch Pro. That's not the case. But it has to be juicy for people to hit that click that video, that thumbnail. And it's just like, we can do better than that to get people to watch. Like, and maybe it's just a problem. Maybe part of it is a problem with YouTube. Like, I didn't even realize it, but I learned that you are rewarded more on Twitch for subscriptions than anything else. And that used to be the case on YouTube, but it don't seem to matter as much about subscriptions, because if you click on a couple of videos from a person, and watch them, they're going to be in your recommends forever, so you don't even have to subscribe. There are channels that I watch somewhat regularly that I don't even subscribe to. Not that it's a big deal, but I don't even see the videos from my people I'm subscribed to. I don't even see notifications from them. I see more notifications and recommendations from channels I just happen to click on and watch a video than from people that are actually in my subscription feed. And that's bananas. Like, what's the point of even having subscriptions at that point? Why even have them? They should matter. Especially if you're watching people that are putting out news-like content. Maybe they're putting out content every day. You would like to be able to get notified from those channels on a daily basis if you're subscribed to them. Like, that would be a good thing to have. But YouTube, they get more revenue by feeding you a bunch of junk. I get crap from videos that are 10 years old, just random, wild YouTube recommended this nonsense video for no good reasons other than to get that ad revenue for you to click on it. And it's a backward system. I'm going to start paying a little bit more attention, or a lot more attention, to Twitch, because it's where YouTube should be, and it's not. And it's a joke. Let's see. I love your point about reviewers needing to learn from the Cyberpunk BS. Yeah, I'm going to get into that. Glad you brought that up, because I was definitely wanting to talk about that. So, since we're kind of on this, Juice is alluding to a point I made in Juice's Loose last night about what happened with Cyberpunk should be a reckoning on media people in gaming in general, but obviously we're talking about gaming here. To not go for the okie doke, because to me they're just as responsible as CD Projekt in some aspects, as far as how bad the situation got. They have to stop putting up with being played by these companies. And what I'm talking about is a lot of these guys, instead of complaining about it, outright complaining and letting people know, or just saying, no, we're not going to review this under these circumstances, they went along. So CD Projekt put out these circumstances that you couldn't have your own footage for the game when you reviewed it. There's only certain parts of the game you could have, and they were only giving out copies for people who had certain rigs, PC rigs, to play the game and review it only that way. And so it was a very optimal situation, because they knew that the game was junk as far as how it ran and whatnot. And they knew that. So a lot of people, instead of, waving red flags and letting people know that this is what they were doing and this is the circumstances that they're being basically forced to review this game under, instead of letting people know that, or saying, no, we're not going to review it this way, we'll just wait till the game comes out. A lot of people didn't do that because they want that ad revenue from being the first person to give you a review on the game. It's all about being first. It doesn't matter if you're right. It's all about being first, which is also sad. So these reviewers, they put up with all that stuff. Some of these sites have marketing deals and all that, and they put that ahead of their integrity and letting the consumer know what's going on. And that can't happen again. Like, you can't support that, and they shouldn't do it. They shouldn't be basically bullied into these reviews and how they conduct these reviews. Not being allowed to show their own footage. That's insane. Like, red flag. A company doing that, you should know right away, at this point, you should know right away that, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not reviewing the game under these circumstances. I refuse to do that. And I'm going to let people know that that's what you wanted me to do in order to get a review out, get a review copy. So this nonsense doesn't happen anymore. And it will force these companies to actually finish their games instead of letting you, these reviewers, these websites, and some YouTubers, letting them dupe us, dupe the people who pre-order these games, because all the scores out were 9.5. They were really good scores, but it was based on that optimal experience from playing the game on PC. And that should not happen again. A company should let you know. It should be complete transparency. Let you know that this is what this company wanted us to do. We're going to do it, but this is what you should know. Or we decided not to do it, which would, put you, I think, in better graces and show more integrity. We're not going to review this game that way. We'll wait and give a thorough review, which is what every company should want to do. Every media outlet should want to do. Give you the best information, not just the first information. And again, they get pressured as well from their corporate masters, because the worst thing to happen to this earth is corporate media. But that's what we have, unfortunately. And if you look out through history, a lot of the corruption that's been uncovered, it's by bigger magazines or bigger newspapers or whatever. But out of it is a lot of independent work from people that, are independent and don't have people breathing over them and have corporate interests around, their media. So, I mean, again, that's one of the reasons I talk about it all the time. It's one of the reasons I dropped, or I didn't drop out, but I changed my major from what was it called at that point? Mass communications. I changed my major from mass communications because I was going to go into journalism. I was an managing editor for my college's magazine, journalism, editorial magazine, as well as a newspaper, and arts magazine. So I was, fully going to go into that. I was going into mass communications, but I looked around and I was like, I saw the changing landscape because of the internet, and I was like, I'm not going to do these things to be in media. It's not worth it. That's when I decided to do what I should have been doing from the beginning and took film and made that my major. So we cannot be allowed to be duped. You got to be more informed, as you can't just sit back and blame media. Also, we have to be more informed as gamers, as consumers of media. We can't expect these people to just, do what they should be doing all the time. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. Super Metal Day 64 probably made 10 Switch video pro videos since that interview. Yeah, I mean, come on. There's not 10 videos. There's not one video worth of stuff. Like, that's something you add into an already existing video. There was no information, literally no information given from that interview about a Switch Pro. And so, like I said, if you're not paying enough attention, you think, oh man, new Switch Pro information. I had already known ahead of time what was said, which was nothing. So I understand that people can be duped. But if you get duped more than once, it's a shame on you. You know the saying, shame on you, fool me once, shame on me if you fool me twice. You just can't get fooled again, see? Some of you will get that reference. But, yeah, let's see. Terminator Juice. CD used reviewers to help get a higher Metacritic, which helped day one sales. Yeah, it's another thing. Like I said, those optimal setups that they had is one of the reasons that they got high review scores. And, the game itself may deserve that. But we have to look at the fact that more than half of the people who are going to be playing that game were not going to have an optimal setup to play it. What was it? 45% of the pre-orders were on PS4, Xbox One. That's a lot of people. You're talking 8 million people. We're talking about 4 million people, because I think 8 million pre-ordered the game. So about 4 million people pre-ordered that game on systems that just barely ran on. And for a company to do that, it's just disgusting. It's despicable. Like, because at some point, not too long after the game launches, that people are going to see these problems. These problems exist to every extent. You have all the information. I feel really bad for the developers because they know they were putting out junk and they were being forced to do so because of the suits who don't care. But I don't get that. You're a business. Like, everything is about your reputation. If you have a terrible reputation as a business, that's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your business. But it seems like more and more companies are more motivated by the short-term gain. And this is still, that day one, 8 million purchases or whatever. But, within a couple of days, it was going to be a debacle. You think people were just going to sit there and play a game where people are walking through the sky and all this weird stuff's happening and cars were just being bumped and shot up in the sky, all this unplayable stuff, games crashing left and right, 10 times a session. People weren't just going to sit on that where you could just weather it. And the belief that you could, that's just crazy. What would make you think in this day and age you can get away? There was a time where maybe you can get away with that, but ever since we had social media, you can forget about it. Like, people know within minutes of this stuff happening. It spreads like crazy. So to be able to have the nerve to just put your reputation on the line and squander it for a super short gain, super short-term gain, is crazy. The Cyberpunk versus GTA videos are pretty funny, though. I haven't seen those specifically. I have to check those out. Juice. Visor, what's up? People don't want to lose influence, like Jim Sterling. You start saying what these companies do is bad, then they aren't going to send you the next AAA game. Yeah, I mean, Jim Sterling, I have my issues with him, but he didn't care. Like, he'll be telling people this stuff way before it happens. Like, he was railing against Cyberpunk way before it launched because he saw all the writing on the wall. And so did I. I mean, I watch people like him. I don't even think I'm subscribed to him, but like, again, all my video, he's in my recommends all the time. So I'll check his videos out. What's up, Lake Link? What's up? But yeah, like, business is about the long-term longevity, and that should always be your goal, is to have long-term success. I just don't understand a company, especially a video game company. I mean, your reputation is everything. You put out a couple of bad games, people are going to stop paying attention to you. Like, you're not, infallible. That you can squander that goodwill quickly. And these guys, like I said, these gamers, they'll be mad forever. Like, we hold grudges. I'm still mad at Ubisoft for Rayman Legends. When's the last? I bought Starlink, but I was very wary of buying anything from Ubisoft for a long time. I got so in the last couple of years, brand new from Ubisoft, I bought 2 games. So in the last, when was that? 7 years, I've bought 2 new games from Ubisoft because I was still salty about Rayman Legends. Juice says Jim Sterling was the other reviewer I was trying to think of last night who chose not to review the game under those circumstances. Oh, okay. Yeah, you did say there was two, and you couldn't remember the other one, so I could see that. And I feel, sometimes I feel like Jim, he likes, he mires himself in the negativity a little bit much. So that's usually some of the issues I have with it. I think he likes to troll sometimes. He certainly likes to troll Breath of the Wild fans. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I just kind of laugh at it. But, he's one that notoriously gave it a pretty low score for that game. And I guess he's got a lot of backlash from people. But he doesn't back down. I mean, you got to give him credit for that. He doesn't back down for those people. He doesn't, I've seen YouTubers in a video. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's blah, 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 blah. I don't want you to be upset, and just trying to cater to everybody. But he doesn't do that. He will stick with his guns. So you got to give him I give him some credit for that. Yeah, he gave Breath of the Wild a 7. So I don't respect his gaming opinion. See, but you can't do that. You can't be like, oh, he did this one game. He gave this one game a bad review score. Or a bad review score, or just like, what the hell is that review score? And be like, I'm shutting him down. I'm canceling him. You can't do that either, because then you're missing all the good stuff, like the Cyberpunk stuff. If you'd have canceled him over that, you wouldn't be paying attention to Cyberpunk videos that he's doing months back, talking about how this game was not going to work out. So we got to get away from that cancel culture. Investors don't care about companies' reputations, but they do. The investors were burned as well in this situation. I think this is a in-house executive issue. Yeah, the investors will impose their will at points. They'll put pressure on you, but as a company head, you got to talk to the investors and say, hey, I understand where you're coming from, but if you want this to work out, we got to do it this way, and you got to trust us. And I think investors would roll with it, because they don't know everything. An investor doesn't know everything. That's why they hire investment brokers, to explain stuff to them. Because they don't understand the ins and outs of everything. They're just the money people. They have money, and they want to invest in things. They're not always super knowledgeable about everything that they invest in, and so they hire people to explain that stuff to them. So as a company, a head of a company, who you're sitting and you're talking to these investors, you got to say, hey, we're going to make a lot of money on this game. Gamers love us as a company. There's so much hype and anticipation around this game. I understand you want to get a game out before the holiday and get holiday sales or whatever. But if it's not a good game, we're going to lose money in the long run. And that's what they are. It's not even the long run. They're losing money. Their valuation dropped $1 billion for the company. I mean, that's unheard of. So you got to explain that to them. And now so any company who's worried about explaining that to people, say, hey, remember what happened to CD Projekt Red? Do you want that to happen to us? And we don't even have as much clout as they do. We don't even have as much standing as they do. You want to go that route? So this really shouldn't happen again. Because of this precedent, people should be like, nope. Let me explain to you, Mr. Investor, sir. I understand you want to make blah, blah, blah off your money. Trust us that you will, and you'll make more if you let us do our damn job and ship the game the way it's supposed to be shipped. And I think a smart investor will be like, all right, you guys know what you're doing. I got money to throw away and piss around anyway. Why do I even care about this? I got other things to worry about. You guys got it. I trust you, and do your thing. And that's how a smart company should operate. They shouldn't succumb to anybody's pressure. They should have strong. What are you getting paid for? These executives at these companies are getting paid stupid amounts of money. He's looking at you, Activision, getting paid ridiculous amounts of money for doing nothing. You're not doing anything special. These guys come in, they get all these incentives, and they make all this money. And not on top of that, their companies don't even pay any damn taxes. So they don't pay any taxes. They make all this money. They lay people off regardless of the game's success. Like EA, they lay droves of people off, even if the game is doing well, because that, it makes their bottom line look better. And then they want you to pat them on the back because they gave $1 million for a charity thing that they can write off. So they can write this charity thing off, and they're not paying any taxes. That's nothing to them. That's table scraps. I'm not impressed. So, like I said, we have to get more savvy as consumers, or we're going to continue to keep getting had. Yesterday, or maybe it was this weekend, maybe it was Sunday, I fell into a rabbit hole on YouTube. I was watching video after video of CBC investigates videos about just scams going on everywhere. This is CBC, if you're not aware. It's one of the C's stands for Canada. I don't know what else. Canada Broadcasting. I don't know. But they do all these investigations of cheating, mechanics, or plumbers, or what do you call it? Appliance repairmen, just all kinds of stuff. And I already know a lot of this stuff happens. That's why I like to learn as much as I can about stuff and learn how to fix things on my own, and I do that a lot. I remember I got evaluated. My wife's car needed a new compressor because the AC stopped working. So they marked it up, and it was like $1,400 to $1,700 by the time they were done. I was like, nah, man, I'm not doing that. I clicked on a YouTube video because I have some background with mechanics. My dad taught me a ton. So I'm comfortable working on cars, but I don't know everything about them. So I clicked on the YouTube video, checked it out, and I said, I'm going to do this myself. And instead of paying $1,700, I paid $200 plus parts and whatnot. Not parts, but tools. I needed certain tools or whatever. About $300. So I saved roughly $1,400 doing it myself. And, I didn't get scammed. Because you go in there, they want you, hey, let's do this. You're going to need this and this and this and that. And I'm smart enough to know that I don't need that stuff. I know about cars. I was like, nah, bro, I don't need that. I have some knowledge. And, it was funny because my friend, he was about to leave, going on a road trip. And so he wanted to get his car looked at because it was having some issues or whatever. And they talked him up, again, to some ridiculous $2,200. I'm like, the car ain't even worth that. Like, why would you put that kind of money into that car? No, don't do it. So he didn't, thank goodness. He listened to me. But we got to be more, like I said, we got to be more savvy as consumers. So let's see what's going on here. Visor Grunt, his biggest issue was weapon breaking in Breath of the Wild. I still don't think that makes it lower than Horizon Zero Dawn, though. Yeah, I mean, I can see what people, because a lot of people who love the game didn't like the weapon breaking. But, for me, it wasn't that big a deal. Not enough to bring it down in points. I mean, that's just a taste thing. That's not something you score the game on, or so I had an issue with that. Let's see. I don't listen to his reviews, says Juice, for anything other than the entertaining. the entertaining stuff. He's always is all I was saying. I don't look to him to go make. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should do that for anybody. Make decisions based on a review. Maybe an accumulative factor. You might say, all right, I know what I wanted from the game. It seems like this game is giving me that from all these reviews. I feel comfortable buying it. That's fine. I don't think you should check out a review and be like, oh, I like this guy as a reviewer. He said the game's good. I'm going to go out and buy it. No, I don't think you should do that at any time. Let's see. Dr. Wait a minute. Why aren't you? Oh, okay. 20XX says Cyberpunk 2077, more like Cyberpunk 2076. Has a little Fallout 76 reference there. Nice. Visor, if anything, Nintendo proved you don't have to release something during the holidays to make boatloads of money off an overhyped game. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm glad you pointed that out, Visor. This isn't 1985. It's 2000. You don't have to go on these 1985 rules where you got to get that holiday thing out. If your stuff is good, and there's super hype around it, like, there was super hype around the Switch, super hype around Cyberpunk for years and years. You don't have to worry about, we're going to get holiday. No. That's corny. That's old thinking. Got to get that holiday money. No, the game is going to sell when you put it out because it's Cyberpunk, not because it's Christmas. It's just like, I don't understand that. Like, some things I get that for, but that's for smaller tier items that maybe, this is the hot Christmas item, the squeeze and tuck, a squeeze and tuck SpongeBob, yeah, you need the holiday for that probably. That's not going to do well in February. If it has a chance to make it, it's going to be something at a time like that. So, I don't know, man. I don't know why this is old thinking. There's a lot of new smart thinking on things, but for whatever reasons, this is a lot of this old thinking on games. And these companies have this old way of thinking. Movies have adjusted, like you got to have a summer movie. And it wasn't like that before Star Wars. Star Wars is what changed, or was it Jaws? Jaws and Star Wars changed that. Summer blockbuster. That's where that came from. Jaws and Star Wars, movies from the 70s, and we went on with that forever and ever until I don't know. Avatar. Avatar proved that you could do well, outside of that if you have a hype project or hype product. That's just one example, but we could do better. We don't have to follow these rules for certain things. Certain things you still need to have that summer timing or that holiday to get attention, but a lot of this stuff doesn't need it. Smart thinking we need to have. Another point that I made about the Cyberpunk situation is the hypocrisy from Sony. I just kind of want to reiterate that. Because Sony had their own game that was a complete debacle. Not quite on this level because, of the company didn't have some big reputation or it wasn't supposed to be, at least initially, a big kind of AAA priced release. No Man's Sky. So No Man's Sky was kind of this indie thing. I cannot remember the dude's name. I keep wanting to say Todd, but I'm thinking of Todd Howard. So that's not it. But he's making all these outlandish promises. And the game still isn't meeting those promises, but it's way better. But it was all these outlandish promises. I remember, I talk about it a few times, how people attacked me for asking, what is this game about? There's a lot of hype around No Man's Sky, but nobody can tell me what I'm supposed to do in the game, what's going to be happening. People would get pissed off. I remember seeing, I don't know if it was an E3, but I think it was GameSpot, right? GameSpot. There was this guy on, and he was saying basically what I was saying. People are talking about this game over and over again, but I'm asking basic questions about the game, not getting any answers, and people are getting mad that I'm asking these questions. And, people got on his head about it, and they would, get upset with me when I would talk about the game. What is it about? What's my end goal? What's the story? Give me something. And so the game comes out, and it's about nothing, pretty much. It's about 20% of what the guy said it was going to be. Sony again partially funded the game. They pushed it out made it a bigger release. This was going to be a $30 game probably, but Sony got involved and they were like, nope, we're making this is going to be our big game. So they put money into it in marketing, and they made it a exclusive to PS4. No Man's Sky. They made it a AAA costing game. It was $60, I believe, to launch. And so they had all these awards and E3s and all these shows, and nobody could explain to me. Homeboy was going on all these late shows, Tonight shows, and talking about this game, and getting the interviews all excited, and you can do anything. You can do anything in this game, and by anything we mean nothing special. Multiplayer, yeah, you could meet up with people in these randomized worlds, and you can come across people, and it'd be kind of multiplayer that way. And it was just saying all this outlandish stuff about this game that was nowhere near anything about that. But that's not even the only problem with it. The problem that the game didn't meet the hype. The game was also super buggy and glitchy. Not unlike Cyberpunk, where you had creatures, randomized creatures, just walking around the world. You falling through the world. Big crazy glitches. Creatures that were like having weird body parts and doing all this weird stuff. The game super crashed. I mean, just look up the videos on people's. I think Kroby Cat has a really good video on it about people getting the game and how many times it would crash. Not unlike Cyberpunk, it would crash and crash and crash and crash and crash. So Sony gets mad that they have CD Projekt said, "Go get your refund." Sony don't like refunds, especially on digital purchases, but at all. So they decided to pull the game, which is fine. I mean, I have no problem with them pulling it because it's not done. It's not a finished game. But they're taking this high ground like, well, you had a game that you actually funded. You didn't pull that game. You pulled the wool over people's eyes on that game as well. And where was your integrity then? So, again, I don't mind them pulling it, but I find it hypocritical as well. So, it is what it is. I need to run. Hold on a second here, guys. Gonna see if my chat box is working or not. Wait. Okay, work there. Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah. So I just thought that was funny. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think I pretty much got out everything I wanted to say. Well, not really. Guess we can go back to the topic quickly of YouTube and, what it's not doing. It's sad because I see really good channels, guys with really good production value, good camera presence, all that stuff, that are getting like no traction whatsoever. And, it's because of the algorithm-based nature of YouTube. And I would implore those guys to, go to Twitch. you know, because you have to get really lucky on YouTube. It's a crapshoot, bro. It is a crapshoot, and then you got to do outlandish things to get traction and to maintain people. You got to make 10 videos on Cyberpunk about how bad it is. When you should make maybe 2, 2 to 3 tops. I mean, 3 is probably stretching it. Wait out. How about just wait and get all the information you can on it and make a video about it, instead of just, oh, here's another thing. Oh, here's this and this. Oh, here's that. It's just, I don't know. It's like you don't have enough content otherwise because you're not creative, or you feel like, and you're not wrong, but you feel like you're not rewarded for creativity anymore on YouTube. So you just kind of go for those quick headline, big headline videos where you just talk about nothing. And that's what I said about YouTube for me. Like, it's not only the lack of traction I get today. I can speak sour grapes and be salty about that. But it's also the lack of quality I see in others' videos. Because I'll be watching a video and I'll be a couple minutes in and it's like, why am I watching this? It's like empty calories. It's like, this is empty calories for me. And why am I still watching this? And I'll just click out of it. But it's too late because it's in my algorithm. It's in my recommends, because I watched enough of that video for them to say, all right, you watched enough. Let's recommend more videos from this person that are more empty calories. And I'm over empty calorie videos. I'm demotivated. You guys have heard me say that a billion times. To make videos on my own. I'm just going to put out stuff randomly, just for fun. But as far as me pushing, only thing I'm going to push right now is my movie channel, which I'm not going to say when I'm going to have a video on that, but that's where at least for right now, and see how that goes. If that doesn't go great, then I'll bounce and not care about that either. Because it's it sucks to make fully edited, scripted videos and nobody watches them. That's a lot. You're putting in a lot of work for that. And when I came to YouTube, I wasn't thinking about no damn money. Like, it wasn't about, oh man, my ad revenue. I just wanted, I was excited because people were watching. That was good enough for me. So, yeah, complaints and grievances. I titled this Complaints and Grievances. Maybe some of you out there are George Carlin fans, but that was one of his stand-ups. One of my favorite stand-ups for him. Complaints and Grievances. I think it was HBO special. But yeah, let me see what you guys are saying here. If I missed any comments here. I don't think I did. Let's see. Oh, Laker Link. It's funny how people were mad. Wait a minute. That were mad that GameSpot gave Cyberpunk a 7, but now it should be graded lower. Yeah. I missed that. I didn't know people were mad about. I didn't even know what the grade was from them. But IGN gave it a 4. And from what I've seen, that's about right. You can split up in versions and say the PC version under these optimal circumstances, if you got a, what is it, the 2077? I'm 20. Look, I'm mixing it up with the game. You know what graphic card I'm talking about. If you have a nice, mid-tier to high-tier card, basically a $1,500 PC, you could looking for the optimal performance on that game. You might not have any issues, but there's still problems like with the save states get corrupted if your file goes over a certain size. It's just crazy. But I don't think that's a reason to really dock it point, because you're talking about the game itself. How does the game play? Is it a fun game? You like the gameplay aspects of it, but even the core game elements are hit and miss, some of them. So I don't know. It is what it is. I really wanted to stream games, and I have no idea why I can't or I couldn't. Maybe I'll try again in a little bit, because it was working. It's working fine on my Elgato, streaming from my Elgato. But anyway, yeah, that's it. That's it for my complaints and grievances. I'm done spreading salt all over my keyboard here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, in the chat, before I bounce out of here, or leave a comment in the video. And yeah, I'll give you a minute or so, see if there's anything. If not, I'll be out of here. I'm still waiting for Eternal Champions remake. That's Sega, right? Sega Genesis. Yeah, you're waiting on Sega to remake some stuff. Good luck with that. You might as well be waiting on an Eternal Darkness remake from Nintendo. Alrighty then. I'm out of here. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and see you folks next time. Peace out.